Good evening, guys. Once again, today we all are present with a new session. So exactly, all of you are thinking that today what can be the new session. So let we discuss today the session which we are going to talk about it. So today exactly what is there on the docket?
Is it possible for us to learn English without being academically educated?
Okay.
Say, for example, you don't have any academic degree, but is it possible for you to learn spoken English, or wherever you go for admission to learn spoken English? The teacher will ask you whether you are academically educated or not, or what is your qualification. Is it very important for us to have the conventional qualification in order to learn spoken English?
That means a $64,000 is waiting for our viewers.
That's not $1 million question.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
So exactly this one has many people have the idea if they do not have the minimum qualification of the educational, so it is not possible for them maybe to learn this foreign language called English. Is it at all possible or is it at all impossible?
Let me first ask our viewers, do you think that it is very important for you to have some academic qualification in order to learn spoken English? Or a person who has never gone to school can also learn spoken English? What is your idea? Okay, we are going to discuss this particular subject matter today, and I think that you have some concept of your own. So please share your ideas with us through the comment box. We will be very much obliged to you. Okay, now let us come to the point. That is, if you ask me personally, I have seen a lot of people in my life who have not been very academically qualified. They are not so-called degree holders, but they are very fluent in English. They can speak English very smartly. They have a very good sizable vocabulary, and they don't hesitate at all when they have to speak English. And I have, on the other hand, I have seen people who are academically very educated. Even I have seen people who have received their academic qualifications in English. Unfortunately, they have majored, or they have studied English honors, or they have done their MAs in English. In spite of that, they cannot speak English very fluently. So spoken English itself is an art, and if you learn how to write English, you may be a very good writer. You may write a very top-notch essay. There is no problem for you. But when it comes to speaking, you hobble.
But there are many parents, those who generally say to their children that if you will not be well educated, it is not possible for you to learn English. So how they can claim this the highly valuable question answer from their children?
That is the common misconception of the common people. Most people of our country, at least, feel that it is very important for you to study academically so that you can learn English. But in fact, it is not like that. If you want to learn English, say you have never gone to any school, you have never gone to college, you are so-called unschooled, untutored, but still you can speak English if you have the real desire to learn this language. Say, for example, you are an employee of a hotel, of a top-notch hotel, a five-star hotel, where a lot of English or American boarders very frequently visit. And you are working there, you are dealing with them almost on a daily basis, and as a result, after a certain number of years, you will be very comfortable in English, and you will not feel that you are speaking a foreign language. You will be so very facile. You will have a very smooth, glib tongue when it comes to speaking English.
So as we know very well, a coin has two sides. So in a same manner, in our society, we get two sort of people. One kind of person who is highly educated, and a person who is simply illiterate. Simply means has no education qualification at all. So in our society, whenever we come across with the people, those who are highly qualified, even they are not well in English, But there are many people, those who are not highly qualified, but they are highly means flexible in this foreign language. But very rare in cases we highlight them.
Exactly. So, as you have told that there are many highly educated people in our country, but they are not able to speak English fluently. It is very normal. You shouldn't just think that they have not studied well or their knowledge is somewhere a little doubtful. Nothing of that sort. Only the problem is they have not found interest in the spoken part of a certain language. So you may study you may study any language you want. You may study German, you may study French, but if you are not interested in speaking, you will see that you will never be able to speak English. Speak French or German very fluently until unless your interest is somehow aroused by some incident or maybe by a certain person, anybody for that matter. If you are in love with an American girl, say you are an Indian, you are somehow able to make a few sentences, and online you have fallen in love with an American lady, American girl, and now you see just she goes on talking to you, and you initially listen to her and you try to answer her questions, or you also try to conduct the conversation from your end in English. You speak wrong English, but she speaks absolutely correct English because she is an American by birth. And gradually you will see during your I should say the relationship, the online relationship, you will become a fluent speaker gradually. But the credit goes entirely to that lady, that girl who has, yes, that's right, who has aroused the interest in you, and not only that, who has also helped you to learn this foreign language. So you need somebody to assist you, to cooperate with you when you are trying to learn this language. That may be anybody, that may be your teacher, maybe your father. Say your father knows English very well, and I mean spoken English very well. So if you learn English in the future, the credit to a certain extent goes to your father, because your father has habituated your ears to English pronunciation, English speaking, and your father has, of course, advised you, or he has tried to create the interest of his son in a certain show that is conducted in English, say on TV, and you have watched those programs on TV, and somehow you have felt quite comfortable in this language. You know?
Another one question I would like to know from you, as you know very well, the phrase called charity begins at home, isn't it? So there are many guardians out there, those who feel that if I will admit my son or my daughter in an institution, my job done. Is it at all possible that an institution can teach or can help to guide a student, or the background of the home, so-called the back at home, the environment also matters a lot?
My experience says that it's not possible for anybody to teach another person a certain language. But what a teacher can do, a teacher can create that interest of the student in that language. The teacher can provide the student with a certain environment in which his skill will develop very fast. So that is what is possible. Now, if you feel that this institute is not good for you, you may change this institute, you may go to some other institute. But in fact, the credit no institute can claim. It is your credit solely, because you have pursued a certain language and you have learned it. The entire effort is to be made by you. Only what the institute does, the institute simply provides you with the ideal environment in which you can speak English. Now, if you go to an institute where you see that you are allowed to speak your mother tongue along with English, it will be very difficult for you to learn this language. I mean, learn spoken English. You will be able to write English very well, but spoken English, when it comes to speaking, it is very important for you to have a kind of mandatory rule that here for these 2 hours or 3 hours under this roof you have to speak only English and no other language than English. If this rule is made compulsory, then I think that it will not be a difficult task for any student to learn this language, provided the student continues with the class. If midway through being disappointed the student quits, then it is of course his failure or her failure. It's not the failure of the teacher or the institute. So first, patience is very much important. When the students come to a teacher, the teacher should ask the student whether he has enough patience or he wants to learn a certain thing overnight. Say he has attended a single class and after the class he feels that he has not understood much of the class, so he feels that it is not possible for him to learn this language and he quits. Then the responsibility is his. Not the teacher is not to blame for that. I feel so at least. What do you think?
So exactly, because the proverb says that patience is someone like bitter, which very bitter in taste and which nobody likes. But his fruit is very sweet, for which we need to eagerly wait for.
Exactly. So, my dear friends, my dear viewers, have patience. Do not try to learn anything overnight, because Rome was not built in a day. Okay, so as this proverb says that it took a number of years, rather centuries, for Rome to come into existence and to achieve the current status. So it is not possible for us to learn anything overnight or in 2-3 days. It takes time. If you want to learn a certain thing, that is not only a language, that may be any other subject, or maybe even games and sports. If you want to be a good cricketer, you will have to go to practice every morning, every afternoon, and the more hard work you put in, the easier your task becomes. But here I will not ask you, of course, to be very laboriously toiling hard in order to learn this language. But at least have patience, stick to it, latch on to the task of learning English. You must be successful. I guarantee you. Okay? So today, make a vow, take a vow that yes, from today onwards, at least every day, half an hour, you will invest in learning English. And after a certain number of months, write to me. Tell me whether you are able to speak better English or not. Better than today, I mean. Okay? Thank you very much. See you again in the next session. But don't forget to discharge your friendly duties. Friendly duties. What is that? Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
and leave a comment.
yeah, exactly. So, if you are not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. Thank you very much. See you again in the next session. Bye bye.
Bye bye.